This world is singular. A moon covered in fire, where gigantic volcanoes erupt without warning, where the ground itself is constantly breaking apart. A place so violent that even from space, its eruptions can be seen hundreds of kilometers above the surface. This is not a planet from science fiction. This is Io, Jupiter's deadly moon. Unlike most worlds in the solar system, Io is alive. More than 400 active volcanoes burn across its surface. Rivers of lava reshape the landscape continuously. Entire regions change color over time. Above it all, Jupiter dominates the sky. Massive, endless, terrifying. Its gravity crushes Io every single day, twisting the moon from the inside, generating enough heat to turn it into the most volcanic world ever discovered. If you stood on Io, you would witness a world in permanent eruption, a world of fire, toxic gases, and deadly radiation. A world that was never meant for life, but somehow it exists. And tonight, we are going there. Io is one of the largest moons orbiting Jupiter. It was discovered in 1610 by Galileo Galilei, alongside 3 other giant moons of Jupiter. At first glance, Io may not seem unusual. It is slightly larger than Earth's moon, and from a distance, it almost looks calm. But the closer we get, the stranger it becomes. Io is nothing like the frozen world surrounding it. Nearby moons like Europa and Ganymede are covered in thick layers of ice. Silent, cold, ancient. Io is the complete opposite. Its surface is covered in sulfur, lava fields, volcanic ash, and gigantic mountains. Yellow, orange, red, black. The entire moon looks like a burning alien landscape. And beneath that surface, something catastrophic is happening. Io is constantly being torn apart by gravity. The moon doesn't simply orbit Jupiter. It is trapped in a brutal gravitational struggle between Jupiter and the other nearby moons. Every orbit stretches Io from the inside, again and again and again. The result is unimaginable heat. Enough heat to melt rock. Enough heat to power hundreds of active volcanoes across the entire moon. Io is not frozen. Io is alive. Io is the most volcanic world ever discovered in the solar system. Not Earth, not Venus. Io. More than 400 active volcanoes rage across its surface. Some of them erupt with a force far beyond anything we experience on Earth. Massive plumes of gas and volcanic material blast hundreds of kilometers into space. From orbit, they look like giant explosions frozen in time. Entire lakes of molten lava glow across the surface. Rivers of fire cut through the landscape. Mountains taller than Mount Everest rise above volcanic plains, and the eruptions never truly stop. Io is in a permanent state of chaos. One of its most famous volcanoes is called Loki Patera. It is so enormous that it could swallow entire cities on Earth. Scientists believe it contains a gigantic lava lake, constantly overturning and reshaping itself. Another volcano, Pele, launches giant red plumes high above the surface, painting the surrounding terrain with sulfur deposits. The colors of Io are not just beautiful, they are signs of constant destruction. On most worlds, impact craters remain for millions or even billions of years. But on Io, the volcanic activity is so intense but the surface is continuously renewed. Old scars disappear beneath fresh lava flows. The moon is constantly rebuilding itself. Even from millions of kilometers away, spacecraft have watched eruptions happening in real time. Imagine standing there, the ground shaking beneath your feet, lava glowing in the distance, ash and sulfur rising into a black alien sky. Io does not feel like a moon. It feels like a world at war with itself. The terrifying power of Io comes from one thing: gravity. More specifically, the gravity of Jupiter. Jupiter is so massive that its gravitational pull constantly deforms Io. As the moon travels around the giant planet, it is continuously stretched and squeezed. Imagine taking a solid world and bending it over and over again without stopping. That is exactly what happens to Io every single orbit. The moon is literally flexing from the inside. This process generates enormous internal friction. Rock deep beneath the surface heats up, melts, and eventually rises back upward as magma. The result is a world overflowing with volcanic energy. But Jupiter is not acting alone. Nearby moons like Europa and Ganymede also pull on Io with their own gravity. Together, they trap Io in a constant gravitational tug-of-war. And there is no escape. Scientists call this process tidal heating. It is one of the most powerful geological engines in the solar system. Without it, Io would probably be cold and dead. Instead, it became an inferno, a moon where the interior never truly rests. Even today, deep beneath the colorful surface, oceans of molten rock are still moving. Io is not cooling down. It is being tortured by gravity itself. Some worlds in the solar system are silent, frozen, empty. But Io is different. Io is alive. A world where volcanoes never sleep, where the ground constantly changes shape, where gravity itself tears the moon apart from the inside. For billions of years, this small moon has survived inside the shadow of Jupiter, burning, exploding, evolving. And yet, despite all its violence, Io may help scientists understand how worlds evolve across the universe. Because if gravity can transform a frozen moon into an active volcanic hell, what else could exist out there? Somewhere beyond our solar system, there may be worlds even more extreme than Io, oceans of magma, endless volcanic storms, entire planets reshaped by forces we can barely imagine. Io reminds us of something terrifying and beautiful. The universe is not calm. It is wild, violent, alive, and among all the worlds orbiting Jupiter, Io may be the most insane of them all, fade to black